Hi everyone, my name is Cindy Scott and I'd like to show you my portfolio. This is the home page that was created a few courses ago, just with a little bit about me. And then we will go over into the LTDE 5317 page. The first thing that I would like to show you is the collaborative collection of adaptation strategies. And here's my document where I had put all of the different things. This was so helpful in just learning about adaptation strategies and different apps and websites that I could use. The next item that we created was the Adaptive Learning Resource Tutorial. I created a tutorial on the website called Woot Math. And Woot Math is really for 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th graders. And it is only in the areas of fractions, decimals, and percents. But that's a huge portion of a 4th grader's math year. And I just loved this site and thought that it was really, really helpful. So love that. Then going on to the next one, which was the lesson that was incorporating gamification. And I did my unit on photosynthesis. And so I found 2 games to help students learning about gamification. The first one is called the Oxygenator Game. And in this one, there is a tree, and the students will move the tree around and try to capture the elements that a plant needs to produce photosynthesis, or for photosynthesis to take place. They have to catch the carbon dioxide, the nutrients in the water. They're trying to stay away from the plant's disease and pollution. And I can show you. Here's the tree. You're moving your tree around and you're trying to catch like I said, the carbon dioxide, the sunlight, the water, staying away from the disease and the other things. And then the second game that I chose is just a simple basketball game. And it's really just a series of 10 questions where the students are answering the questions. And if they get the question correct, the ball goes in the hoop. Like here's the first question, and then they get points. So great review game there. Those were the 2 games that I had chosen for reviewing photosynthesis. And then moving on to the actual unit, here is my unit, and you can see the learning objectives that I have, and then the essential questions. And then we move on to the activities, and I'll just explain the activities to you. The first activity was for the students just to watch an introductory video on photosynthesis and explaining to them that photosynthesis is really just like how plants make their own food. So thought that was a great just introductory video for the students. The second activity was really just an introduction to some of the vocabulary words. I created a vocabulary activity on Quizlet, and they are just using their flashcards. Here is a definition, and before they flip the card, they should try to figure out what the word is, and then they would click the card to see the definition. And I created this with 10 different vocabulary words for the students to process. The third activity is a read aloud of the book Tell Me Tree, written by Gail Gibbons. And it does look very primary and elementary, but it gives a lot of great information for the students about plants, about trees, and about photosynthesis. So even though it's a picture book, it is a great way for fourth graders to learn about photosynthesis. The next activity is a chlorophyll drawing activity. They will download the file. Here are the directions. They would actually need to print this picture, but the directions tell them that they need to go outside, get some leaves, and then take a metal spoon and crush the leaves. And then they are going to actually sort of paint, if you will, with the chlorophyll from the leaves. And that really helps them to see the chlorophyll that is in a leaf. Moving on to the next activity, they're going to participate in a sunlight activity. And this is really an experiment where they're going to plant 3 different cups of basil leaves. It gives them the materials they need, the process that they are going to have to follow, all of the steps. But basically what they're doing is planting 3 cups of basil seeds. They will place 1 cup in a sunny spot, 1 cup in a dark spot, and 1 cup in sort of a medium spot. And then wait 2 weeks. They would take all kinds of notes during those 2 weeks and then see which plant grew the best. Hopefully, of course, they would see that sunlight is one of the things that a plant needs. The next activity is to help them see photosynthesis taking place and the respiration that's actually taking place. They would again get an active leaf, put it in water, submerge it totally. If they needed to, put a little rock on it, and then let it sit in the water for a couple of hours. Come back, wait, and then what they should be able to see, and you can see here the little oxygen bubbles, helping them to see that the oxygen is actually expelling, the plant, the leaf is actually expelling the oxygen. And this would be a great opportunity to talk about the stomata, the little pores in the leaf that the oxygen moves through. So great activity there for the students. And then there is another video on photosynthesis that the students would watch. This one's a little bit more in depth than that first video, which was just an introduction, but this will give them another just review of a plant making its own food. After that, I have those 2 games that I've already described, the Oxygenator game and the basketball game, and hopefully those will help the students review photosynthesis. Then I came up with 3 other activities that use the website called WordWall. The first one is simply a drop and drag activity where they are connecting these 5 vocabulary words to the proper place, like sunlight, here's the sunlight, and they're just dropping and dragging, which would be helpful to them. When they finish, they submit their answers and it tells them if they're correct. And then there is a close activity. Again, working with vocabulary. This time they're going to read the sentence. Photosynthesis is the process by which plants use blank from the sun. So they would just drop and drag the word into the correct box. When they finish, they would submit their answers to see if they are correct. And then there's a little game show which a teacher could use as a quiz, and it's really just like a game show. It asks a question, has all kinds of fun sounds, tells them the question, and they're also being timed. And so once they answer the question, it'll tell them if they're correct and then give them bonus points based upon how much time they didn't use or how fast it was. Great game for them. All three of these word wall activities will generate a report for the teacher, and the teacher can use them for formative assessments. And then the final assessment that I have created for this photosynthesis unit is for the students to create a poster that depicts the process of photosynthesis. They need to draw a picture of a plant and label the different parts, the roots, the stem, the leaves, the flowers, the stomata, also the sun, carbon dioxide, oxygen, water, and the glucose. They need to label the photosynthesis and the respiration. One of the recommendations made to me by another student was that I needed to list out all of the things that I was requiring the student to put on the poster, which is a great idea. And then I said that they also needed to show the relationship between humans, animals, oxygen, and carbon dioxide, and that they needed to write a paragraph that describes the process of photosynthesis. I wanted this poster created in a website called Storyboard That, and I've given them the link where they would sign in. We have used it before. They would sign in, they would create their poster here. I have also given them a rubric and have told them that they will be graded on the accuracy of their content, the presence of the required elements, their creativity and neatness, and correct spelling and punctuation, which shouldn't be an issue because they are using a computer, which can help them with the spelling. But here is the rubric that they will use. And then I've got all my references, and I just really had a great time creating this unit on photosynthesis. And I hope you have enjoyed the little run through of my portfolio, and I will see you later.